Let's go. We're good.
And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hey guys, you're listening to another episode of You're Human, and I'm Dakota Meyer. This is the live call-in show where nothing's off the table. And it's just a badass call-in show that me and Knives created. This is episode 26, and if you're listening, we're going to open it up. The phone line's up here in a minute. 512-523-5609. Knives.
How you doing, sir?
Living the dream.
Yeah?
Living the dream.
How was this week for you?
Man, this week was good. I was, what did I do last week? I was somewhere.
Always crushing it. Always killing it on the road. Road warrior.
Where was I at? I did something.
Did you talk?
When's the last time I seen you?
Last week, yeah. It was after Kentucky and...
Yeah, I'd already did that.
Yeah, so it's been a whirlwind.
Yeah, what did I do?
Oh, no, it's been nuts.
Oh, you know what I did is I flew to Kentucky, gave a speech in Kentucky one day. And that was really kind of it. I mean, I've had a bunch of meetings.
Yeah.
Trying to prep, I've been fucking deep in this book.
Yeah, tell me about that.
Man, almost got the book done. It's going to be really, really badass.
What can you say? Still close to the vest there?
No, I mean, it's just a matter of you got to put it all together now. Like the manuscript is 99% done.
Man, that's awesome.
So ready to hammer it home.
That's rad.
Yeah, man. It's
I can't wait to read it.
I feel like of all the books I've done, really, and you answer this question. Hey, it's Dakota with Your Human Podcast.
Hey, Dakota. Quick question for you. Have
you
ever considered politics?
I just don't look at myself as a politician.
Yeah.
I mean, if I ever thought that I could make a difference, I would. But I just, until we have a full overhaul, I just don't know. I think like my impact that I want to have is I want to help make people better and help people. When people are better, they'll make better decisions. And then guess what we'll have? We'll have better leaders. So I'm trying to go to the core and try to help change it, Because even if you change policies and laws, you still got to have people that care about them.
Yeah, that's true.
What do you think?
Personally, I was hoping you and Mattis would do something together. That'd be the greatest duo ever.
Man, I appreciate that. Yeah, I don't consider myself a leader, right? Like, I don't look at myself as like that's just not, I don't know. I'm not saying it's out of the realm, but I believe in this, like really the only thing that I would bring to the table is I know how hard life is. I care about people. I put people first. I want what's best for all of us and for, not each of us as individuals, but us as we the people, in the hopes of, keeping this country great, right? The idea of democracy, I believe in that. I believe in the Constitution. And I love people. And, outside of that, I really don't have anything else to bring to the table,
Well, if you change your mind, I'll give you my 2 cents.
Yeah.
I think you have a good perspective of the middle class, right?
Yeah.
You have a good value system. And I think those are both important things that you could bring to politics, and both those things are lacking in politics today.
I agree with you 100%. And those two are like kind of you basically, look, see, this is why I need you, because you summed up what I was trying to say in a very short delegate, whatever you want to call it, in a really, really elaborate way that, I just believe in people. And you're right. Like I came from the middle class, and the middle class is the backbone of this nation. And it's the most, look, all of the classes are equally important, but I mean, when you talk about having and creating the most change, you do that with the middle class, because guess what? The upper class relies on the middle class, and the lower class relies on the middle class, right? And so it's like if you want to create the most change and have the biggest impact, it's on that group of people, and that's what I am.
Yeah, I agree. And no matter what you do, I appreciate everything that you do. No matter what path you take, you are helping people get better. So thank you for what you do. Thank you for what you've done. And continue to just own the dash.
Man, I appreciate you. Hey, keep owning it.
Yep.
Thanks, brother.
Thank you.
See ya.
Bye.
What an awesome first call.
That was a great first call.
That's a great first call. I don't get those very often.
Someone's saying on Facebook, if you ever ran, it'd be cool if you ran for the governor of Kentucky. What do you think about that?
You know, it used to be a dream of mine. But I mean, I don't live in Kentucky anymore. I don't feel like that it would be right for me to run for governor of Kentucky. You know, I don't live there anymore. I do love Kentucky. You know, it's my home state. Incredible state, provided me a lot of values. Definitely has a special place in my heart. You know, I live in Texas now. But you know, at the end of the day, I'm going to go back to doing what I love to do. I love people, right? And so I want to go touch people, make people better, inspire them to be better, give them hope. And because I know if I change people, if I change individuals, you'll change the world, because guess what? The world's made up of people.
Individuals. I want to finish the thought of your book. You were talking about it. I can't wait to read it. I hope it's okay if I say this. You had told me on the phone a couple months ago that it's got to work with somebody like me. Like, it's kind of written for somebody like me, right? So like, I want to be able to follow it and apply it. Talk to me a little bit about that. Yeah,
you know, like, so with this book, it's called, I'll reveal the title of it. It's called Why to What? And, you know, it's like I said, you know, it's easy to go teach people who know what they want to be, right? Like, you know, and it's just a matter of applying it. But it's like, you know, when you get to the point of where you're trying to help people, like, you know, you can get people to do, you know, hey, go do this workout. Like, you look at fads all the time, right? They never stick though, right? Because you can get people to do something all the time. And it's usually off of motivation, which is emotional. I want to change the way people think. Right? Like, I don't want them to do what I think they should do. I just want to help them think about what they're doing a different way to make them better. So then I'm not like, it's more of a longevity, right? Like it's an approach that the trajectory of what I want to change is everything in their life, right? And I don't need to tell them how to do it, right? Like, it's a whole, back to the saying, I am going to butcher this. You know, feed a man a fish. You know, what is it?
He eats for a day.
Bring a man a fish, he eats for a day. You teach a man to fish,
eats for life.
Eats for life. Thanks for filling that in for me. But that's
kind
of the whole concept for me is like, man, if I can make individuals better, if I can help individuals, and the thing is like, I look back and what's so profound to me is, you know, I had this. Somebody said to me the other day, and it almost offended me, but it really challenged me to look into this. And I just done this one thing, and this guy looked at me and he goes, "Yeah, well, that's why you're Dakota Meyer." And like, I just accomplished this thing, and I was told that it wouldn't happen. And he looked at me and goes, "Yeah, well, that's exactly why they call you Dakota Meyer." And I was like, what the fuck does that mean? Right. And, you know, cause I'm not an athlete. Like, I'm not the smartest guy. Like, you know, like I'm none of that. And so, you know, and I think like where I have this whole, real, like where this new book coming out just helps me so much. And it works so good now. And everything's so clear, is because, you know, ever since I got out of the Marine Corps, I was always trying to be what someone told me I should be. Right? Like, oh, you know, you're a hero. Like, after I got the medal, like, you know, I was supposed to be a hero. Right. After, you know, I'm still supposed to be a Marine, and, you know, I'm supposed to, you know, all these people think I should be in the tactical side of it because I was in the Marine Corps. Right. And then, you know, if you look at all these evolutions of me, you know, people talk about my podcast, right? And it's like, you know, oh, well, you know, you gotta, you know, you need to be a podcaster, you need to interview people. Right. And so, like, going down and all this, and like, none of it fit. And that's why I got rid of it. Like, I was not, you know, I'll try the clothes on, but like, if they don't look good or I don't believe in them, I'm shedding them. Right. And so, you go on down the list to, oh, you need to be speaking on leadership. Well, I'm not a fucking leader, right? Like I ain't out here leading, thousands of people, right? I was a team leader, right? I led 6 other people. So, all these things, I tried to live up to them, and like there was no fulfillment there, right? And, because people are trying to say, oh, well, your story inspires leadership or whatever, or your story means you're a hero, right? And dude, I finally got to this point to where, and it was crazy because that one statement has been said to me my whole life, and I never knew what it meant. And I can really sum up what Dakota Meyer is and what Dakota Meyer's life story represents. It's not leadership. It's not a hero. It's not a kid who just grew up some patriot, just wanted to serve his whole life. And it's not the tactical side. It's not some gun toter. Dude, my story is about resiliency. Right? It's about fucking resilience. You look at from day one, statistically, Dakota Meyer should not be where he's at. According to society's standards, I shouldn't be where I'm at.
Yeah.
But here the fuck I am, because I'm not going to quit. And I believe in something bigger than me. And I believe in doing the right thing. And I believe in good. And I believe in people. And, and I'm not going to put anything above that. Right. And so, I don't know how to teach people to be a leader. I don't know how to help people become a hero. I don't know how to help people become a celebrity. I don't know how to help people become a better shooter or a gunfighter. But I'll tell you this, I can teach motherfuckers how to be resilient.
It's a lot to unpack right there. When did you ever, if you ever did, process, transitioning out of the military and you're being inundated with information? Here's what you should be. Here's what you should do. When did you discover I'm just a resilient guy? That's who I am. That's my path.
Probably probably 3 weeks ago.
Really? Super soon, super recent.
Yeah. Cause I was trying, look, I'm not a poser, right? Like I don't I'm not going to talk about something that I haven't gone through or that I have no credibility in. It's never been something that's come from me. You've been around me for a long time. And if it doesn't fit, the shoe doesn't fit, you've heard me tell conversations like this is not me. You need to find somebody else. Same thing on this. And I think I've always kind of knew that, I think I always used to describe it as I'm just too dumb to quit. But really that's resiliency.
Resiliency. How do you define that? I want to make sure we got the same definition.
Resiliency is about, it's about no matter what life throws at you, you're still going to maintain that course and that path through that storm, and you're going to come out of it better than how you went into it, right? Resiliency is not quitting. It's not stopping. It's resiliency. And let me tell you the cool thing about resiliency is not genetics. It's not, it's not financial. It's not opportunities. Resiliency is nothing more than a fucking frame of mind.
And hopefully that framework is in your book.
It is.
We can tap into it. That's an operating system right there.
Dude, it's the blueprint for resiliency.
Man, I'm so stoked. I can't wait to read it. I heard that if you read while you're listening to the audiobook, you take that information in twice. So I'll probably do it that way. It'll be like you're reading it to me.
That's awesome. Will you hand me my water over there?
This one?
No, the other one. That's my dog's water.
Sorry.
Thanks, man.
Yeah. Got a question here from YouTube. Do you think you lost your innocence from war?
Man, I think I lost my innocence from my childhood. I mean, that's the reality of it. That's the reality of life.
Yeah.
The world's a mean fucking place. The world is a nasty fucking place. Not saying that in a victim way. You shouldn't look at it in a victim way. The world's like the fucking jungle, right? And it is what it is. I mean, the world's like the jungle. And so, you know, you're either predator or prey in every situation. And that's the reality of it. No emotions of like, oh, well, you know, everybody should be kind. No, like the reality is the world is a fucking, it's unfair. It's hard. It is unforgiving. It's unforgiving, right? So how can you be an unconditional person in a conditional world? And that's, you know, that is ultimately what we should all be striving to.
I don't know if I have the answer to that.
Well, it's in the book. Why to what?
Hell yeah. Got a question from IG. Any life advice for young men about being a good man?
Yeah, I mean, look, like, you know, being a good man. I mean, being a good man comes down to what your priorities are, right? To being able to identify what that is. You know, me and Knives have talked about it multiple times. Is so many times, so many people are going through life, and all they're calculating is their misses, but they don't even know what they're trying to hit, right? And so you have to identify what is a good man. What does that mean? What are the principles of a good man? And what does that look like to you? And then when you can identify that, then you can know what you're trying to shoot towards. And so what I would tell you is you know, any of these titles are nothing more than a sum of results that from the actions and decisions that you've taken. And so what I would tell you is you know, before you can take decisions and actions, you have to know what results you're going for. And that will backtrack all that, right? And then the results you get are nothing more than data points of if you were successful or if you failed. Hey, it's Dakota at the Your Human Podcast.
Hey, what's up, Dakota?
What's up?
Hey, man, I just wanted to ask you. I've served for in civilian law enforcement, retired. I served in the Marine Corps and 3rd Battalion, 4th Marines.
Awesome.
Spent some time in the Air Force Reserves. In the last half of my career in law enforcement, that's when things really started to go south with how the government started treating its servants.
Yeah.
And then everything leading up to the botched withdrawal from Afghanistan. But that being said, I've been doing my own thing for the last 2 years. I've been through some hard times with my wife down by the side and a whole sorts of other things going on. But I still have that servant's heart. And I think you're involved in the fire service. And I was just going to ask you if you believe that for a warrior's heart, is there a way to find that same satisfaction and service to your community joining a volunteer fire service? Or because that's kind of what I'm thinking about doing, and I just wanted to know your thoughts on the fire service and doing that for someone with a warrior's heart.
Yeah, I mean, look, you know, a warrior is nothing more than somebody that protects and cares for other people, right? And so, I mean, I love the fire service. I absolutely love it. So I think that like if your goal is to go and serve others and to continue that path, I mean, I think it's for sure an opportunity to do that. And I think it's a great opportunity. You know, being in the fire service is great, right? I mean, you know, being a cop is an incredible honor as well, right? And so all these things. And but yeah, I mean, I love the fire service. And it's truly been an honor for me to be able to be part of that, you know?
Yeah, I definitely appreciate your input, man, and you know, I thank you for all you've done and for the country and for the Marine Corps. Just as a man, you know, and that one guy that called in or sent a message to you about, you know, what it means to be a good man, you were spot on about everything you said, and finding your own resiliency and the things that you can hitch your wagon to. You know, for me, it's the Lord, it's my family, it's my country, and dang, dude, it's you know, you're hitting everything on. You're definitely on point, and I just wanted to let you know that nobody like me in the middle of nowhere, Appalachia, like you for inspiration, man, and it's definitely appreciated.
Well, I appreciate you. And listen, man, here's what I'd challenge you on, right? Like, you know, it's easier to change things that, like the things that we can control than it is to try to, you know, like if we can find, you know, responsibility is nothing more than objectives that we can change, right? Like people look at responsibility as like, oh, you know, it fucking sucks, or accountability. Like really, it's not. It's really just something we can change. So here's what I tell you: it's like the fire service is going to be no different than unique to the problems that you had as a cop. Does that make sense? Like, I mean, obviously the job's totally different, the risks are totally different, but like as far as like the community and stuff, like, you know, no, like the only difference is you're not pulling people over, right? You're not holding them accountable. But what I'll say is you're still going to run into what we call the bureaucracy of the government. And it's still a struggle. And I'll tell you what I've had to do is before you go join any of this, figure out what you want to get from it. Right? Like you just said, you exactly what a man was. So write down what is a warrior and with your warrior's heart, what are you looking to gain? Like what is it that you're hoping to do as being any of these titles? And then when the static and the bullshit comes in, if it doesn't take you away from being able to serve your community and do the things that you want to do, then it's just static. It's not real. Does that make sense?
It does, man. It does. You know, in taking all those oaths, I took them all to heart. And
yeah.
It broke my heart seeing everything crumbling since, you know, the middle to like 2012 or somewhere around there. And then my last, you know, 10, 11, 12 years, it was just like, I just saw it more and more happening. But I do miss, after 2 years of being away from it, I miss the brotherhood. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But here's what I'll tell you is anytime we blame the government, we also give the government the power. And guess what the government's made up of? People. Right? And so like, man, you as a cop or you as a firefighter, you know, as much as we think it's about, you know, protecting, or, you know, as a firefighter, it's about, you know, going in and doing the glory work, right? You know, it's really more about being an example for people to look up to. And every time we go in and we get to people call 911 or they need us, we have an opportunity at that point to come in and give them a good example and to also make their world a little bit better and to mentor them and to guide them. Right. And I know as well as you do right now, it's not always that case, but there's for sure, there's more times than not that we can have that impact, you know?
Yeah. I just feel like I'm just wasting my spiritual gifts by not doing something like that. And I just, I love helping people, like you said, and I do love people, and I love my community I'm at now.
Yeah, well then
amazing salt of the earth people.
But here's what I'm gonna tell you: you're gonna get frustrated. You're gonna get frustrated that the guys around you, you know, look, there's, and you've seen this as a police officer. You've seen this in the military. You've seen this everywhere you've gone. I mean, you could see this as far as parents, right? Just because you care and you're doing it for the right reasons doesn't mean that they have to be. Right? And so, but that gives you two opportunities that you can have an opportunity to have an impact on people that are in the community, but you also have an opportunity to have impact on showing them of what they should strive to be as well. But you can't do that at the expense of you getting frustrated at why they're doing it.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Kind of guard your heart a little bit from that.
Yeah. Well, just don't engage, right? Like, you know, I get frustrated all the time that, you know, look, some guys just want to do it for the t-shirt. We all know them, right? Yeah. But like, if I waste my time and my energy and my emotion and my passion being pissed off at them for them not doing it for the same reason that I am, then I take away from the pureness of me being able to do my job the best I can, while also trying to show them and improve them the same time of making myself better. Does that make sense?
Yeah, brother. Damn. I needed to hear that.
Because I'm going to tell you, if you're going to go in the volunteer world, you're going to run into that. You're going to find some badass meat-eating guys and girls, but you're also going to find a group of these people that, you know, there's a reason they didn't go to the professional side. You know what I'm saying? They just wanted the t-shirt and they wanted to run around and not do it for the right reasons. They wanted to do it for selfish reasons so that they could claim the title and not the selfless reasons to serve the community, right? So like, just know that going into it, but you have an opportunity to be an example to them and have an opportunity to teach them to care about the community too and to bring them with you. Does that make sense?
Yeah, man, it does. I appreciate you, brother.
Hey, appreciate you, man. I hope you have a good day. Good luck.
You too, man. Bye-bye.
Man, that was some value right there.
You know, it's life.
I love it, man. I love your insight. Might as well ask this question since we're on that topic. This is from IG. I started as a firefighter in a week and have no experience or training. Any advice or tips?
You know, go in and ask as many questions as you can. You know, spend that time investing in your future, investing in learning. You know, don't be sitting around. Go out there and going over the trucks, learn everything you can. Ask any opportunity you get to learn. Ask questions. Take notes. You know, one thing that I always appreciate is you know, when people are learning and they always have a notebook on them, right? Like, don't ever miss that opportunity to take notes of how you would have looked at this or how you should have done this different, right? Like, let these people criticize and critique you to every single, like all the way down that everything that they can, right? Because it's to make you better, right? It's to make you learn. It's for a reason. And so, you know, go in there with that open mind, be ready to learn. It's going to be hard. It's not easy. It shouldn't be easy. It shouldn't be. You didn't join for an easy job. You joined for the challenge and to be able to serve others. And with that comes a responsibility, and never, ever, ever forget that responsibility and that oath that you took.
What advice would you give to someone who seeks combat throughout their time in the service?
The only people, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how, if you're doing that, like, you better be careful what you wish for. I'm going to leave it at that.
Yeah. What do you do for yourself on your hardest days?
I always back to the basics. You know, the basics are the anchors to my life, right? Structure, consistency. I mean, that's what we were built off of. And you know, and so, like, just making sure that I always have a good plan. I never know what the day is going to be like. We can't predict that, but I can predict what my plan should be, right? And so, like, always having a plan, always having a plan, always having a goal, always having, you know, that piece of it. I'll get back to that. Hey, it's Dakota with Your Human Podcast.
Dakota, what's up, man?
What's up?
Paul Talley up here in Maine, kicking it.
Hell yeah. What's going on, man?
Oh, nothing, man. I was in the Corps 95 to 2000, probably
a little bit before my time.
School. Yeah. Oh, shoot. Hey, I appreciate everything you do on this show, brother. Something kind of lighthearted. Well, not lighthearted, but kind of fun, not really funny, but kind of a fantasy, do something with a brother Marine. I know it would never happen, but hypothetically, I like to fantasize about it. If I didn't have kids and you didn't have kids, you know, I see all this crap on the news about the border. I'm like, man, you know how awesome it would be to go down on that border with Dakota.
Fuck, what?
Straight set up shop and protect our country.
Man, listen, you could do it. You could have at it.
Yeah, no kidding, right?
Yeah, but it's not those people's fault for wanting to come here. You know what I mean?
People. No, I'm not talking about the people. I'm talking about like cartels coming through.
Oh, bro, yeah, I'd be in on that.
You know,
hey,
just hunting bad, evil guys.
If it was up to me, if I became president, I'd bring our troops home, and let me tell you what I would do. I'd sit them on our southern border, and we would invade Mexico.
Oh yeah.
Like, dude, we would invade Mexico, and we would go as far south as we needed to make sure that those cartels were out.
Oh yeah, that would be awesome. I just dream about just sitting up there taking out people, you know, dragging over bags of fentanyl and stuff that's just rotting our country.
Yep.
But you know, and I know that would never happen, but I was just like,
I'd be in though. Like, if we're going after the cartel, I'm in. You know, and what I think is like, you want to fix this border problem. Let's go down. Let's put our troops on the southern border. Let's go through Mexico. Let's flip it over. We could take it over as America. you know, we could make it America, and then we could build that place up down there. We've already got a shit ton of businesses down there. We could build that fucking place up. We could just take it over. Like if they can't fix it, then we'll come in and it's right there near us. We just take that border out, going down, and we just beat the shit out of the cartel, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you know, that border issue isn't really anything to make light of because it is like
it's terrible, man. It's terrible. You know, when people talk about it in, you know, the either or, like, close the fucking border down. Well, I mean, okay, right. I got you. Let's close it down. So now and look, I agree. We shouldn't just have, you know, free roaming people through America. But I also do think that, you know, we should have a process that it isn't as slow as the fucking government, you know, doing your shit. So, you know, I think that there's got to be a multi-pronged approach on this because, you know, I mean, look, we want good people to come here, right? And so we should have a process that helps people come here. You know, Mexico is it's a border country to us. It's very important for us to take care of those people. And but I also don't think it's okay for them to come across like this. But when people are talking about like close the fucking borders down, it's like fuck, man. I mean, you know, these people
they don't even know what they're talking about.
Right. Like, it's like these people are literally like they have nothing and they're willing to give whatever they've got left to try to get in this fucking country. And it's like, no, I don't hear anybody saying, how can we go down there and fix that problem? Right. Like them coming across the border is it's just a symptom to the real fucking problem down there. And I just, you know, like, when did we become so with a lack of empathy towards these things? Like it's black and white, right? It's just crazy.
Yeah, it's almost like they want them to come here, and I'm with you too, man. It is a multi-pronged approach.
I'm all about killing every fucking cartel member, though. I'll tell you that right now. I like if I could get a job just fucking killing cartel, like I promise you, I'd have no issue just slaughtering cartels daily. Like they deserve it more than anybody I ever shot in Afghanistan or Iraq.
Totally, because they totally do.
Yep.
But yeah, those people coming over, there's a way for them to get here, you know, properly, and they need to clean that up. But man, what is just mind-boggling is that, you know, the federal government, starting at the top, they just don't vet any of these people. And we're seeing it now, like these big sanctuary cities are saying, like, you know, this is out of hand. Like, you have to fix this. Well,
those sanctuary cities weren't saying shit. They're the ones that did that. You know what I mean? Yeah, like their leadership are the ones that built this. And I'll tell you, we have got to fix this problem, because if not, then these people are giving up everything that they had coming across to come across the border to come into the same shit that they just left from if we don't fix this.
Yeah, it is mind-boggling that the federal government allows this to happen. It's like,
well, they got to keep it political, right? Because like, you know, because one side just lets everybody through, and then the other side just says, fuck it, put a wall up, you know, let's put a 30-foot fucking wall up. Well, I mean, you know, okay, put a 30-foot wall up, and guess what? The 31-foot ladder business will be fucking booming. You know, you know what I mean?
There's definitely, you know, there's areas for that type of stuff, and there's areas for other types of
stuff. For sure. But either way, like, you know, when we say, well, they need to go through the process. Well, have you tried to go through the process? Like, have you seen what it's like to try to go through the process to come to America? Like, dude, like, no wonder these fucking people are coming across, right? And so, you know, it's like, we've got to clean all this up. You know, it's 2023. Why the fuck should it take so long to do background checks like this, right? To get people, you know, like let's have a process that makes sense. Like, let's, you know, but again, the government's like, hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And it's like, yeah, you know, that's why they're still doing shit the way they are. But I'm with you, man. I would, if you ever find a way that we can go hunt cartel, like, I think we should sell tags. You know, we should sell tags on cartel.
Wow. Guide service, man. Guide service.
Dude, we could go. Perfect. Yep. Cartel, the biggest enemy to, you know, all these people are worried about China. Dude, I'll tell you right now, you talk about having the most impact on us is the fucking cartel. And we should be like that. We should be just destroying them.
I mean, they got a hard on that border. It's like a wide open freeway.
Well, of course. Yeah, of course. Of course.
Like, holy shit, man.
But hell yeah, man. I appreciate it. We if you ever find something, you call me back and I'm in.
Oh yeah, I will. I appreciate the talk and appreciate everything you do. And shoot, you have a good day.
Hey, you too, brother. Take care.
All right, bye.
Wow, that was intense.
Was it?
I thought so. Fuck the cartel. That's for
Fuck
sure.
the cartel,
They're
bro.
fucking evil.
Yeah.
I'll say that. Got a question from YouTube. After the many wars the U.S. has had, we're able to go back and visit some historical sites like Vietnam. If Afghanistan is freed and more civilized, would you go back and visit?
Absolutely. I'll never forget. I sat on a mountain. It's actually on the cover of my book. That picture that was taken, my buddy Chinai took a photo of it for me. And he, I think his name was Muhammad Abdullah. And he could speak a little bit of English. And he just told me one time, he's like, I hope someday you can bring your family back to visit our country. And, gosh, how cool would that be?
And so you would, huh?
Absolutely.
Wow.
Afghanistan's beautiful.
Yeah. I mean, I've only seen pictures. How is, this is from IG, the cold plunging going? How long can you make it?
I love it. I don't get in there for like how long I can make it. I get in it I try to keep it at 39. It gets moved up to 50 sometimes. Not by me. But like, if it's at 50, I'll get in for 3 to 5 minutes. If it's at 49, same 3 to 5 minutes. So, I don't feel a difference after that long. So that's kind of what I do.
What are the benefits of it?
I mean, weight loss. So it burns fat, right? By being inside of, by being in that cold immersion. It gives you energy. You talk about, I'll tell you this, you can't drink an energy drink that'll give you more energy than you going to sit in that cold plunge for 3 minutes. Right. Also it helps with inflammation recovery. So
those are some huge benefits right there.
Yeah, it's huge.
Have you been skydiving lately?
I haven't. It's been a while. I don't even know if I have my license. It might have lapsed. Just because I haven't. It's either something you do all the time or you don't do it all. Like for me, because it's just hard to stay up on, being current and knowing in case something does go wrong, how to get out of that. Right. So there's just so many malfunctions that you need to be aware of. And so for me, I haven't done it in a while. So no.
Man, you're going to think I'm such a chicken shit. But when I went skydiving that one time and I still have like scary dreams about it, like that my parachute's not working and I still have nightmares about it. I'm not going to lie. Sorry. I got a question from IG. How do you stay so motivated? I don't. I just try to stay disciplined. Motivation is an emotion. It comes and goes. And if you're one of these people that have to be listening to the right song, or when you hear these people say, I don't feel like working out today, it's like, what does that mean? Right? Like, I don't ever feel like working out. But I know that that's what the plan is, and stick to the fucking plan. And so like, that's kind of me, is like, I don't stay motivated. I guess like it's really reversed. When I go work out, I get more motivated. You know what I mean? Because it's like wins motivate me. And so winning motivates me, and successes and even failures and all that, like it all motivates me, but it's like, I got to stick to the plan. And that's kind of like what I do. I love that. How do you organize yourself to make sure everything gets attention without falling behind? Well, I do it with purpose. I do it consciously, right? Like, it's a schedule, like there's only 24 hours a day. You have to plan. You can't just expect to just fit everything in. You have to see where it fits and what's going to take, what takes priority. And it goes back to what I was talking about. I talk about knowing what you want and your results that you're wanting. Like the results you're wanting from life will tell you what fits and what doesn't fit. You can't control what you're seeing through the optic. It's like being a sniper. You can't control what target you're going to be looking at, where the target's going to be. Is the target going to be running? Is it going to be close? Is it going to be far? Is it going to be big? Is it going to be small? You can't decide that, but
if you're always looking and you've got you've got a good position with your rifle, if you've got your crosshairs lined up and you're in a good spot and you know what you're looking for, what makes it easier to hit that target, whatever it is. And so it's the same thing in life, is you have to know what you want to get from life. What results are you looking for? And then reverse engineer that.
Got this troll question here on YouTube.
Send it.
I'm going to read it, but I think it's a troll question. I have a question. I have what I think is a rat snake in the box springs of my bed. It has the original plastic on it, but obviously it has a hole in it somewhere. My dogs and cats are scared as well. I encourage this guy to go ahead and call.
I don't even know what that is.
I don't know what that means. Got a question from IG. Need some dad advice. How do you stay a hands-on dad with all the things work/life and a newborn?
Well, I mean, it's about quantity. It's about quality, not quantity. The reality is, there's number one, you have to be an example. Number one, you have to be good. You have to, I know this sounds crazy and this is going to probably get me canceled, but I've never put my kids first. I come first. Lauren's not first. Dakota Meyer comes first. Because guess what? If Dakota Meyer's not good, no matter whether I put my kids first or I put Lauren first, they're not going to be fucking good. But if Dakota Meyer's good, my kids are great. Lauren's great. So I have an obligation to put that mask on myself first. Hey, it's Dakota with Your Human Podcast.
Man, Dakota, I just wanted to call and simply say thanks, man.
Hey, you're welcome. Who is this?
My name's Chad Meeks.
Chad, and great to meet you. Why are you thanking me?
For your service, for your willingness just to get for your willingness just to get shot at, honestly.
Man.
There's a lot of people that don't think that this is worth fighting for, but man, we got the greatest country in the world right here, and I'm glad that other people still know that.
Man, I appreciate you first. I appreciate you thanking me. You're right. And you know what? We still got the greatest country on the face of the planet. And we're going to always have that because there's people like you. There's people like me. You're right. We still do live in the greatest country on the face of the planet. And it's worth fighting for.
Yes, sir. Well, man, keep your powder dry and stay in it.
Appreciate you, brother. I hope you have a good day.
You too, man.
See ya. But yeah, back to it. A long time ago, I used to put everybody else first. And it was at the expense of me. And it was the worst I'd ever been in my entire life. And, I know that airplane protocol is put your mask on first before you start putting everybody else's on. Because even if you don't put yours on, you might be able to get 5, 10, 15, 20 people's mask on them, but eventually you're going to be out of oxygen. And then you're no good to the rest of the people on the plane. So put your mask on first. So then therefore you can go and help everybody else that needs help.
This is kind of messing with me a little bit. I got 2 kids.
Yeah.
I don't know where this comes from. I didn't have the best examples growing up. My mom did her best. But it feels like I have this compulsion to put them first, right?
Yeah.
Am I doing it wrong?
So I think when people look at this as Dakota says he puts himself before his kids, not to go drink, to be at the bar.
Of course. Not
to go and do other bullshit, right? That's only hurting them. But to do what's right, to do everything, to put myself first, to make sure that I'm good. There is no good by being at the bar every night. There is no good by being financially unstable. There is no good by not being at a job that makes you feel fulfilled, right? You have to do the things that make you a better human being, right? And that's what you put first. And then if you're a better human being, you make everybody around you a better human being that's relying on you. So it's about using that time to make yourself stronger. It's about using that time and prioritizing that, because if you don't prioritize that, you're not going to be good. And if you're not good, well, then who else is good that's relying on you? So you have to put yourself first.
Yeah. Thank you for saying that.
And here's the thing,
Mm-hmm.
you know, if you put them first, one day they're going to be adults.
Mm-hmm.
What do you got left?
What do you mean?
You still got 60 years to live.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like when I hear relationships say, oh, well, the kids come first. Well, your relationship better come first between you and your wife or your husband, whatever it is. And that better come first, because if that relationship's good, what else is good? Your children.
Mm-hmm.
If that relationship isn't priority
mm-hmm.
and it's bad, well, can you overcome that being bad on your children?
No.
And so it's like, you got to go back. We got to reverse this way of thinking.
Yeah.
And go back to putting ourselves first with the intentions of us getting better in order to help make other people better.
You're the first person I've ever heard say it like that. You know,
Yeah.
It's like whole generation doing it the other way around, you know, the whole species doing it the other way around. So it almost feels like counterintuitive, like it's going against instincts. But I remember you told me, I hope I can say this. If you're helping someone that's drowning,
mm-hmm.
and they try to bring you down,
mm-hmm.
then that means they have the strength to swim.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to let them swim.
100%.
You have to take care of yourself first to help them.
100%.
Yeah.
Right? Like when you come up on somebody, you know, like if you're trying to rescue somebody when you're going out swimming, and they have enough strength to grab you and pull you down, go underwater. That's where they don't want to fucking be anyways, right? Get away from them. And then until they calm down, if they've got that much energy to bring you down, then they don't need rescued yet. They could use that energy somewhere else. So you need to be talking them through it. And so it's the same thing in life, right? Like we get hooked up on these people who, there's a very fine line between helping and enabling. And the rule for me is this: I'll match you on your effort to fix your problem. I'll match you every chance I get. But I ain't fucking doing more than you. I'm just not doing it, right? Like I can't stand people. I think it is a detriment when I hear my friends who have kids that are above the age of 18. They are adults making adult decisions, and their kids are living at their house, which I am all about. But the parents are working more hours than their children are working, or whoever, their friend that they're letting live at their house. They're working more hours than they are sitting on their couch. That's not helping them at all. At all.
Yeah. So true, man. That hits close to home. Got a question here from IG. If someone treats you poorly, do you tell them so they can adjust their behavior, or do you give them the boot?
I mean, there's a difference between somebody treating you poorly and somebody disappointing you, right? So you got to figure that out. If somebody treated you poorly, I mean, you have to first, maybe they didn't know they treated you that way, you know? So I think it's fair to tell them. I mean, I think you should always, and sometimes people treat you the way they treat you because you didn't set expectations on how they should treat you, right? So there's that. And so I think you have the responsibility to tell people how they should handle you, or what you're looking for, or what you expect. I think that is 100% responsibility on you. And if you've already done that and they choose not to respect that and appreciate that and go by that, then they got to go.
Yeah, facts. I agree with that. How do you balance your own personal goals with what's best for your family?
I mean, my goals are best for my family. Back to it, like, when I'm good, they're good. So it's a simpler equation, is that if I'm good, they're good, right? And so if I'm doing shit that's good for me, that's good for me, like what represents me is them. And so like, if it's good for me, it's great for them. So I don't know about this whole balance. I think this balance thing it's kind of like Bigfoot. Right. Like balance, when people say, oh, you got to balance your lifestyle. Like balance is like, it's kind of like Bigfoot. It's kind of like saying balance is for people who live in the gray.
You're saying it's black and white.
It's black and white.
When we got this question that I'm about to ask, I was like pretty excited to ask you because I don't know where you're going to go with it or what your thoughts are. What will it take to turn the beta male society into more masculine leadership?
It'll just take alphas leading, alphas being real alphas, not, that's what it's going to take. Is it's going to take people, people going out and holding each other accountable, and people pushing each other to be better, and people being intentional and living consciously, and not people living off this motivational, emotional way of life.
What do you wish you spent more time doing 5 years ago?
Stuff that's good for me. I wish I think about it every day. I think about just conversations that are just now clicking, right? Like it's like, gosh, why did I not just listen? Now this makes sense, right? Dr. Keith Rose was a huge friend to me and mentor, and gosh, I used to just argue with him and that ain't fucking right. You don't understand, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, man, I just wish I should have just dialed it in with him.
Wow. I used to work with him. Yeah. So he's got a fountain of knowledge and wisdom. So yeah, no, totally. Shout out to Dr. Keith Rose. If you had something to teach, or if you had to teach something, what would you teach?
Resiliency.
What's a belief that you hold that which many people disagree?
Tons of them. I mean, I don't know.
Putting yourself first is kind of controversial, I think.
Yeah. I mean, I think that, putting yourself first is something that is a controversial topic.
Absolutely. When you're 80 years old, what will matter to you the most?
Man, I still want to be getting after it. I still want to be getting after it 80 years old. I just met a guy, Mr. Z. Like this guy, it's the first time I've ever walked in and said, I want to live to be 80.
This guy getting after it?
Oh, getting after it, man.
Man, that's so cool. That's rare to see. You know what I heard recently? You don't see obese 80-year-olds.
No.
It's pretty scary, right?
You don't.
It's pretty scary. What has life taught you recently?
I mean, I learn lessons every day, right? Look to patience, right? Like I'm always, that is one piece that I'm always working on. And, because I'm a forcer, right? And sometimes you spend a lot of energy forcing things when they were going to come around anyways. And so, patience, you would think as a sniper that would be a quality of mine, but it's not. So, just having patience and trying to dial in to be more effective and efficient, and decisions and all that comes down to being intentional, and to being conscious with what you're doing, and to just being intentional about everything that you're doing, and figuring out what matters and what doesn't. And just, when you're pushing a lot of rocks, like, push, like if you've got one pushing, got to keep pushing it, and don't worry about where the other rocks are. And then, you know what I mean? Like it's all about just patience.
What's the one thing you would most like to change about the world?
I just people making decisions.
Hold that thought.
Hey, it's Dakota with Your Human Podcast.
Hey, Dakota. My name's Chandler Dillon. I just wanted to first say, thank you so much, for everything that you've done for our country.
Thank you.
My mom, she was in the Navy, and I've got tons of family members that were in the military as well.
Oh yeah.
I would really like to see, I don't know if you're located in Texas, or
I am.
but my mom, she runs a Young Marines unit. I'm not sure if you've ever heard of that, but it's a youth organization for kids between 8 till completion of high school. And they promote a healthy, drug-free lifestyle, and it's based with veterans and active duty service members as well. I would love to see a possibility of maybe be able to speak with them. We could talk offline or something.
Where's it
I don't know
at?
if you have an email. They're located in Seguin, Texas.
Oh yeah, I go down. I used to go down there all the time.
No way.
Yeah, I used to. The airport there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's where I used to get my helicopter maintenance at.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like 5 minutes from my house.
Oh yeah, so that's awesome, man. Yeah, so like Knives has got your number, and so I'll put Knives in touch with you, and he'll get all the info.
Okay, that would be great. She's also the works at the Veterans Office in Guadalupe County, so she has a ton of connections with other veteran services and veteran offices and things like that. So if there's anything we can help you out with, just please let us know as well.
Awesome, man. Yeah, Knives will get in touch with you, and then he'll get all the info.
Okay, great.
Thanks, man. Appreciate you. Bye. That's cool.
I wanted to ask you the one thing you'd change about the world. You had something.
Yeah, I just wish people would stop letting I would just get people to make decisions, to take action. Take fucking action.
You said on the last pod that if you have one superpower, it's you don't hesitate when it comes to taking action.
Yeah. That's like probably the only superpower I have.
That's like the thing, though.
And I don't know if it's just like because I'm too dumb to know what could happen.
Oh.
Right. I look, I've figured out that I'm not very smart. And what I have done is that's what I think, like, if I can do it, anybody can. You can tell, like, it takes about 5 minutes in me speaking to understand that I'm not very educated. But I mean, it's reality, right? I mean, you see these people like, oh, he says like, and he says this, and he says this. And it's like, there it is again. I do. It's part of my education. It is a deficiency of mine. But what I will say is I have found a way to take my deficiencies and to put them in a place to where they become my superpowers. Right now, am I proud of them? No, they do stand out. But here's what I'll tell you is they also work in my benefit, because me being too dumb to care or know about the consequences of my actions is the exact reason I'm standing here today and you're listening to my podcast and giving a shit about how many times I say like.
Speaking of your podcast, I guess this will be the last question. The podcast is called You're Human. What does it mean to you to be human?
I'm not human. That's why it's You're Human, not I'm human.
Yeah, what does it mean to be human? Like, how do you define that?
I mean, I just think it's, humans are these incredible creatures. It's like a mixture between animals and machines. I mean, think about that. What keeps us from being a machine is our empathy, our feelings, our emotions. What keeps us from being an animal is being able to think like machines. Mm-hmm. We have this huge opportunity to do and create and build and do all these extraordinary things and have such impacts and leave these lasting legacies, for the next generation. And so I think humans are incredible. People are great, and they're what we literally fight for. We live and die for people. We serve people. We wake up every day, and everything we do is for others. And so I think it's like, what is You're Human? It's hey, you have this superpower, these capabilities to be something that is incredible, that's beyond fathomable of where you're at, and to resilient and all these factors. But you have to do it. Machines, they do it no matter what it is, because they don't have an option. People have options. And so I just think that, like, what is a human? A human is this It's the most powerful thing on the face of the planet. And it's how are you going to use that power? You know, when I hear people talk about problems in their lives that are so big, you know, there's not one problem that's in your life that wasn't created by a human just like you. So why don't you fix it? Why don't you change it? Why don't you do what it takes to fix that problem? The cool part about life is there's only a few things you can do that you can't overcome. I mean, think about it. Having a kid, you've got a kid for the rest of your life. What an awesome thing. Murdering somebody, you're going to jail forever. Outside of those, really nothing you can't overcome. And so it's like, and I'm not saying overcome having a kid, but you get my point. So everything else in your life can be changed, unless it's a disability, something you're born with, all those things. But majority of us, all of our problems, we have the power to change them. And you're human and you're incredible and we do the impossible. I mean, can you imagine 200 years ago, humans thinking that somebody would step on the moon? We're looking at going to fucking Mars. Think about that. Humans are the most incredible creatures ever. And the most powerful things ever. Everybody, not one more powerful than the other. Everybody has the same power in them. It's just a matter of them using it and for good and for the good of everybody. And so that's what your human is. I'm not human. You know, I heard Chad Wright say this the other day, and I agree wholeheartedly with him. You know, he says that he doesn't believe that he's going to die. And I don't believe that I will either.
We're approaching time. I want to get more into that though. Do we have time?
Yeah.
What the heck does that mean? I know what you mean, but I want to hear you talk about that.
Man, I don't think you can kill me. I think I think that whatever I set my mind to, I'm going to do. And I think that I just don't think I'm ever going to die. You know what I mean? Like I'm going to live forever.
I think I know what you mean.
It's not going to be in this body.
Yeah.
But I'm going to live forever. And like people go through life and they're scared to die. And it's like, man, I ain't going to die. I'm going to live forever, baby.
Fuck yeah.
You know what I mean?
I love that.
What do you got to be scared of when you, like, if you take of everything out, you know, majority of your fears go back to what? Shit, you can't kill me. Chad Wright said it best. I'm telling you, if you haven't watched this video, it's actually, he's got a documentary out. It's called Just 1 Mile. Just 1 mile. Go watch it. You'll leave a better person.
This podcast flew by, man.
Hell yeah. It's a
Can you
good one.
believe it?
Cool. Thank you all so much. I hope you have a great week. We will see you on episode 27 next Tuesday. Hope you guys have a great week and keep owning it.